Hi, I'm Canwell, and in this video I want to talk about the psychology of getting an ex back. So I've been working as a psychologist for a long time, over 10 years now, and I can tell you that a breakup is probably one of the most emotional things that can happen to a person. It hits people really hard. When there is a breakup, they lose their minds. And people don't know how to react in this situation, and often they will do the wrong things, and they will do things that will actually push their partner even further away, and it will just kill any chance of getting their ex back. So first of all, I want to talk about the psychology of getting an ex back, and it's important to understand that when there is a breakup, it is a change in the power structure. Now, when somebody breaks up with you, there is a huge shift in power. They suddenly have all the power because they are the ones making the decision to break up, and the person who gets left behind is feeling powerless. They don't have any power. They've had their power stripped away from them. And suddenly they have the message that they're no longer good enough, they're no longer wanted, they're no longer desirable, that this person can go off and live their life without them. And so it's a huge shift in power. Even if somebody felt as though they had the power in the relationship, if somebody breaks up with you, you suddenly lose all your power, especially if you want to get them back. It doesn't matter if you don't want them back, but if you want to get them back and you want to stay in the relationship, then it's a loss of power. So you have to understand what's going on at a deeper subconscious level. Now, to fix this, you have to get your power back. And how do you get your power back after you've lost power? If you do anything that displays weakness or neediness or desperation, where you're trying to force your partner to get back to you, and I've seen guys do this where they write these long text messages and they write letters to their ex-girlfriends trying to beg them to come back. They go around to their house, they call them up on the phone, and essentially what they're doing is they're begging their ex to get back with them. Now, what does this do? They lose more power. They give even more power away. They make themselves look even more powerless, even more low value, and even less desirable. So this is the wrong thing to do. From a psychological perspective, this will kill any chance of getting an ex back. If you want to get your power back, you have to show that you're happy to live your life without your ex, that their presence or their absence doesn't matter. It's indifferent to you. It's meaningless. Now, how does this work from a psychological perspective? There is something called the fading effect bias, and that means that after 6 weeks, all the negative emotions and stress in a relationship begins to fade away, and those negative emotions and thoughts are replaced by positive memories. So if you've had a breakup, it's always better to allow space into the relationship, because this means that your partner, the person who broke up with you, is going to start to forget about all the bad qualities and the negative qualities, and all the positive qualities will come back to the surface. And so they have a better impression of you. Now I want to talk about something called rubber band theory in psychology. And that is, if you imagine a relationship, it's like a dance between two people. One person is pulling away, the other person is getting closer, the other person pulls away, the other person gets closer. It's a little bit like dancing. You know, there is this tension involved. And if one person feels overwhelmed, or they feel as though they don't have any space, then they've got to pull away until the other person pulls away, then they come closer again. So it's sort of like this rubber band, which is always connected, and you have to make it snap closer to you. But how do you do that? If somebody pulls away from you, you also have to pull away from them so that you can snap back together. That's a rubber band theory. Now, in psychology, this means that if there's a breakup, you have to get your power back, you have to introduce space and tension back into the relationship. It's very, very difficult to do, because you have to basically get your power back. And if you don't get your power back, your partner, your ex, is not going to want to get back together with you. Now, let me touch on something else which I think is important, and that is the scarcity principle. If people believe that you're easily available, and you're always available, you always want them, you're always going to be around, you're always going to be there to speak to them, to see them, they're not going to appreciate you as much. And that's why you have to be able to pull back, to reset the power dynamic. This is very important. If you can't reset the power dynamic, your ex is not going to feel any motivation or interest to get back to you. That's why you'll see a lot of situations in breakups where exes will reach out to reconnect, and then once they know that the person is there waiting for them and they still feel the same way, they lose interest and they pull back again. So you have to know how to handle this situation the right way. There is a lot of psychology behind a breakup. If you want to know more about this, I highly recommend you get my Get Her Back action plan. It will show you how to get a girl back the right way. It has a 97% recovery rate. You can pick up your copy today by clicking on the link below. And don't forget, I do phone and email consultations. You can book a consultation with me on my website, develofattraction.com.